Leos, welcome. I'm so excited to be doing this reading for you. This reading is being recorded January 8th, 2022, but it is a timeless reading, so trust that when you find it, it was meant to find you. It is a general reading as well, so keep that in mind. Not everything is going to fit, so take what fits and leave what doesn't. All right, Leos, so I have already pre-shuffled, meditated on your cards, so we're going to get right into it. What we're looking at today is the recent past energy, current energy, and the near future energy. And within each of those, we're going to be looking at the challenging energy at hand, your emotional energy, physical energy, and then the energy of the blessing that was surrounding you throughout that time. Whether or not you could see it as a blessing or not, that's, it's in the eye of the beholder. But yeah, let's get into this. Okay, so this is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising. Maybe you just have a lot of Leo in your chart. Cross watchers, welcome. Spirit, may you deliver the highest message of love and healing to the Leos here today. Last shuffle here. This is for Leos. We have the Page of Fire, the Five of Earth, the King of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Water, and the Call card, which is the Judgment card. In current energy, we have the Wheel of Fortune, the High Priestess, Nine of Wands. Again with the two, isn't that interesting? The Queen of Cups and the Transformation. This is the first time that two, but they've literally come out together. So how does one leave one behind? All right, near future energy here for the Leos. We have the Seven of Earth, the Five of Cups, Four of Air, Ace of Air. And we have your masculine card here on the bottom of the deck. We have the King of Fire. Okay, so for the overall energy of the reading, we have you standing in your divine masculine energy, really, which is just embracing, we are all made up of divine feminine and divine masculine energy, okay? But standing within that divine masculine energy is standing in the certainty of self, standing like within the tangible space around you. What are you creating? What are you manifesting? What are the action steps that you are taking? That is standing within that actual power of self. Okay, so we're going to clarify as we go. Give these a quick shuffle. The Hermit, the Empress, and the Devil clarifying. Okay, so this King of Fire in the overall energy was clarified by the Hermit, the Empress, and the Devil. Three major arcanas there, which is kind of symbolizing a really big change. I do feel, Leos, for some of you, like this is a really big, we all go through, and we go through them more often than we not. Like there are some years that are like, this was a big changing year for you, or you know what I mean? And there are certain times and certain years, I guess, that are more life-changing than others, right? And I do feel like at this time that's a really big thing that you are going through right now. Now the Hermit here, we have this inward reflection. Maybe for some of you, you kind of feel like you are doing the sun is so beautiful and bright in my kitchen right now, so I understand that the glare off these cards might be a little much, but I have been missing sunshine, so I am sitting in it. Okay, so the Hermit energy here, you can see that this kind of tortoise is doing its own inward reflection, really like finding its own inner space, right? And being comfortable within its own space. And we have to allow ourselves, there's so many of us right now that are going through this hermiting phase. We have to allow ourselves that space. We have to allow ourselves that ability to kind of retreat, regroup, sit with spirit and do that self-reflection. And this is the energy here. Now we have the Empress because, as much as I feel you're doing this, this hermiting energy, you're also doing this growing energy, because as you allow yourself to do the reflection within this hermit space, you allow yourself the ability in the space to manifest and co-create and begin to see the potential and the prosperity that is before you, especially with this Empress energy. That Empress energy is all about going forward and manifesting, co-creating with spirit, aligning to what it is that your intuition is guiding you to do. And we have the Devil behind that, because I do feel like you're breaking free of a lot of old structures and old patterns. And I love the depiction of this goat because I love how his little feet are on fire. Because sometimes we get so stubborn and so caught up in of having the control of how we see things going that we forget that we are manifesting and co-creating with the divine. Right? And we try to control and we try to force things to go our way and within our, limited beliefs or within our limited ability to see what's to happen, right? And we try to control spirit and try to like tame spirit and make spirit. And that's just our stubbornness, okay? That's just our resistance to change. And I do feel like that's a huge part of this overall energy here is as much as you are becoming, or as you are coming into standing within your own is changing, because it's not necessarily that you're standing within your own under the control that you've had in the past. It's that you're standing within your own, opening self up to the ability to manifest and co-create with spirit. Okay, standing within your own, that you've done this self-reflection and taking yourself back and putting yourself in that reflection stage isn't such a triggering thing for you to do. Okay, because it's that reassurance and that growth within inside of self that's important right now. Okay, and I understand, especially that devil and those stubborn little hooves, right? Like I just see those feet on fire right now, Leo, and it's almost like, I get it. There's change that I have to make, and there's self-reflection that I have to do, and it's almost that stubborn kind of energy to just sink in and get it and get to work on it. Okay, so in the recent past energy, we have the Page of Fire that came up in this challenging energy here. We also had the Five of Earth in your emotional energy, the King of Cups in your physical energy, and the Ace of Cups and the Judgment, the Call card, in your blessings. Let's see, this Page of Fire. Where is this Page of Fire? The challenge. Okay, so that Page of Fire, wow, look at that. That Page of Fire clarified here by the Ten of Cups, the Magician, the Father of Cups, and the Three of Swords. All in reverse. This Page of Fire is about, so pages are brand new cycles coming up, okay, coming to surface here. Okay, so a Page of Fire is about going forward here, but breaking cycles of the past, and that was a challenge here. And see, we have the Ten of Cups and the Magician here with the Father of Wands and the Three of Swords, and these are all in distorted energy. Okay, so there was some sort of happiness here that was struggling in the recent past energy. Now the Ten of Cups can oftentimes be talking about family, so maybe there was some sort of disruption between family or whatever the case may be, but look, it left you feeling powerless. Okay, it left you feeling powerless and without a swords, because there's that Father of Wands again. Okay, this overall energy, that masculine energy, there you are. Okay, so there was some sort of distorted energy between how those around you were affecting your were affecting your own inward power here. See, and the challenge was you had to go forward and break cycles. Okay, you couldn't loop back into these old things, because look, the heartache it was in reverse. So yes, okay, these things are already done, but I don't feel like there's like super fresh wounds here. I feel like this is kind of something that probably triggered something from your past. Okay, and you were being asked again to step in and learn and accept the new cycles, and I feel for some of you that was maybe a distorted kind of energy. I do feel like there was something here. Again, I'm feeling strongly this Ten of Cups for some reason is feeling very strong family energy today. Okay, so, and I mean, we did just go through the holiday season. Now of course you could find this at a different time, but I do know the holiday season can be fairly trying when we're discussing family, but there was cycles here that you were being asked to approach and try again, and it was like, it was very hard for you to do that, because whatever the case may be, something made you feel off kilter. Something made you feel like you could not embrace your own power, which is probably why emotionally this Five of Pentacles was here, right? Because the Five of Pentacles is about feeling lonely, feeling on the outside, feeling down, feeling out of your luck, right? Feeling sad. Okay, that's the Five of Pentacles energy. And, you know, especially when this challenge is here that, you know, you needed to start new cycles, but you weren't really stepping into your power. Well, emotionally, of course, you're going to be feeling on the outs, right? Look at that. Four of Wands, the Tower. Yeah, I do feel for some of you, it definitely could have been something to do with family, because the Four of Wands is oftentimes talking about family celebrations, coming togethers of things, right? We had the Tower and the World. Okay, so there was, again, something here that kind of needed to come down. And the Tower can oftentimes be very uncomfortable situations, because it's destruction happening within our life. Now, is it destruction that is not needed? No, not the case. If the Tower is happening and the universe structured a tower to happen within your life, it's because whatever was happening was not serving the overall, the overall benefit here. Something had to change. That's why the universe sends lightning bolts and you get shocked and shit gets zapped and, and life changes and shakes up. Okay? Because it had to change. What was standing there wasn't going to actually serve anybody going forward. Okay? And that's what happened here. So I do feel, for some of you, again, that could be to do with some sort of family situation. Okay? There could have been some sort of family shakeup here, right? Where shit got, but look, something had to come to an end within it. Okay, the world is about cycles coming to a completion. And even within families, that doesn't necessarily mean that things won't come back together, but when they come back together, they will not form under the same patterns and under the same structures that they formed before. Or they shouldn't. That's why healing and growth happens, right? That's what we're due within the healing and growth, because we've completed a cycle. Okay, something came down here, something had to be shook up, because something needed to be completed. Some lesson was learned, and it was time to put that lesson into action, do the growth that needed to happen, do the movement, and shift into the next gear. Okay? And emotionally, I can see that that was very challenging for you. Emotionally, I can see that there was probably some heartache that came along with that, right? So, but in the physical energy, we have the King of Cups. And to me, that can be where you were very much feeling, maybe you were feeling very empathetic towards a situation, to everything that was coming down. Maybe, to you, Leo, you were taking on these burdens at a very deep kind of level. I hope that for most of you, you were able to see where your emotions ended and where others began, because it's very important, especially in that empath kind of energy. It's very important that we understand that people are going to feel what they need to feel, but we have to be big enough people to understand that that is a them. Okay, we have to be cautious of how our energy and how we affects others. Okay, but that just means we have to be whole and pure on our side of it. How they receive our energy, that's not our business. It's our business is how we distribute that energy, how we distribute that, right? Like it doesn't need to be a place of selfishness or resentment or contentment. It has to be a place of healing, love, and light. Okay, what would Jesus do? Why is this King of Cups in the physical? Five of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, absolutely. There was an Eight of Swords. There was some heartache, Leo. I get that. Something's definitely come up recently that really kind of, I do feel like it just made you feel heavy. It just made you feel shitty. Okay, and it was like, maybe for some of you, it was something that was like revolving, where it's like, oh, we've been over this a couple times, right? But the Eight of Swords here, this is about where you acknowledge that, okay, just because those heavy energies happened, the healing has to happen. Because the Six of Pentacles here, this is about acknowledging that what you put out is what you get back in. And the Eight of Swords is about victim mentality thinking. Okay? You cannot go at this thinking that, again, you are just some victim to bad circumstances, right? Because if you're doing that, then you're taking the other party's, whatever they may be, and you're wearing that as your cross to bear. And that's not your cross. Again, you have to think, just like this King of Cups is discussing, right? Their emotions are their emotions. Your emotions, your only aspect is how you are going about this. And you cannot go about this thinking that I've been wronged, I'm, whatever the case may be, right? Somehow here, Leo, you're caging yourself in some sort of, in your physical energy, whether that's just constantly what you're playing in your mind again and again is, okay, well, I feel trapped, or I feel like I've done this, or I feel like if it doesn't have to do with you, then you have to be the big enough person to acknowledge that, you can only do so much, right? You can only fix yourself. You can only heal yourself, Leo. Okay, there's a big part of that. There's a big part of being accountable here for your own individual energies. Okay, allow other people to do their healing and to do their work. That's not your business. Your business is you. Okay, your business is you. And you can see here that other people's unhappiness threw you into like looping into old cycles again. And maybe it didn't. For some of you, it might not have. For some of you, I do feel like you were able to kind of like step in and acknowledge, okay, well, maybe, their negativity is throwing me off. right? So we have this Ace of Cups and this Judgment here as the blessings in the recent past energy. Let's clarify them. Let's clarify this Ace of Cups. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, that's exactly what we were just talking about, that self-accountability energy. Son of Cups, Five of Wands, Two of Swords, and the Judgment energy. Thank you, Spirit. Wow, look at that. Nine of Cups and Justice. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful lineup. This blessing here, so this Ace of Cups, well, here's the blessing from Spirit. Okay, aces are gifts from Spirit. And you know what this emotional blessing was? Well, I love it. The Nine of Pentacles, that's your own self-fulfilling energy. Okay, that is where the Nine of Pentacles is about being happy and abundant and fulfilled with your own space. And when we really truly align to that Nine of Pentacles energy, we really truly align not only to self-fulfillment and self-worth and self-love, but self-accountability, right? Because self-accountability allows you, self-accountability is a huge part of how and what you allow in your energy space and in your energy field. You know, is your garden surrounded by people who are trying to take from you and negativity, or is it surrounded by people who build you up and who support that kind of, you know, that healing and that fulfillment within inside of self? Because if you can't fill self, right? If you need other people to fulfill you, I don't care. It's codependency, right? We have to be fulfilled with inside of self. It doesn't mean that we don't enjoy the company or we don't, you know, love the company or the connection or whatever the case may be with those around us. Those are very important pieces, absolutely. But right from a basic point, it has to come from self-healing, self-love, self-worth, self-fulfillment, right? And see, and we have the Son of Cups after that, because I do feel like there was this opportunity. Spirit was gifting you some sort of emotional healing here. But in order for you to, again, receive the opportunity, it was the uncomfortable growth that needed to happen, because there's been this stalemate here. You know, and I feel like it was almost as though change needed to happen, growth needed to happen within inside of your own being, your own accountability, your own self-fulfillment, and that was a challenging place to be. I can understand that. But the opportunity here, or the gift or the blessing here, was that the universe was giving you that cup of self-love, I feel. Okay, I feel like this cup of self-love is, or even just, maybe for some of you, you know, you definitely got caught up, or maybe for some of you, you got caught up in that feeling of whatever the hell was going on around you was making you feel imbalanced. And this cup was where you were able to separate the situation and yourself, right? And acknowledge where that situation ended and you began. Because the call here, this is freedom. This is that release. Okay, this is that healing. This is that ultimate from the universe, right? And look, we had the Nine of Cups, which is self-love and self-fulfillment, emotional happiness, again, blessings, dreams coming true. But this is, again, on a very nine is very self-oriented. Okay, that is a reflection of emotional happiness within inside of self. And the Justice is about balance, liberation. Okay, it's like you liberated yourself here, especially with this journey. You liberated self because you acknowledged, wait, even if other things are happening in the world around me, and even if the energies of those, you know, if there's other people, and maybe the family argument had nothing to do with you, or whatever that case may be, right? And I mean, that's only going to apply to some of you. Maybe it had nothing to actually directly do with you, but you were taking that on personally. And it's here, this Judgment is that energy where you have to liberate yourself. You have to liberate your own love and your love for self. You have to find the happiness here within inside of yourself. You have to make sure that you are filling those cups. Don't worry about what other people are doing or how they're going about healing, okay? Let them figure their shit out on their own and come back to this. If it needs to be addressed, they'll address it, okay? You need to find the happiness within inside of self. Nine of Pentacles and Nine of Cups is such, like, especially in the blessing, like, this is that self-awareness and self-accountability piece. Okay, and that's a really big one. So in the current energy here, we have as the challenge, we have the Wheel of Fortune, and see, things are changing. And that Wheel of Fortune, like the Wheel of Fortune, in order for the Wheel of Fortune to actually go the way it's supposed to go, you cannot control it, Leo. You just have to let it go. And that's a challenge within itself, because it's asking you to have the faith, right? Look at that. We have the Mother of Wands, the Queen of Cups, or sorry, the Queen of Wands, The Six of Cups. Wow. And the Chariot on the wheel. Okay, there's massive life changes here. Look at this. So this comes from self-reflection again, you know, because the challenge here, you have to acknowledge, look at this. Okay, the Mother of Wands, that's that divine feminine energy of yourself, Leo. Okay, one who's very connected and passionate, but she understands her own light. Again, she understands her own being. Okay, she doesn't need, like the Mother of Wands, she doesn't need, it's interesting because like that's not even necessarily an energy of the Mother of Wands, but I'm hearing that right now. The Mother of Wands doesn't need that reassurance from everything around her, because she knows deep, that fire burns so bright within inside of her that she knows, okay, this is, and see, and that comes with this healing. Okay, that fire that I feel that you are burning, and it's a challenge right now because you have to allow the control. You have to stop trying to control this. Okay, you have to have the faith that you are passionately and divinely being guided, and follow those passions, follow that light. Okay, there is healing here. Okay, the Six of Cups is about doing the reflection, doing the healing, you know, doing, yeah, like allowing yourself to reflect on what has been, on who you have been, right? So that, and that reflection comes because, again, there's an accountability piece with that, right? When we allow ourselves to reflect, we allow ourselves to be real with self. And that's not being real with self so that you can be harsh with yourself or beat yourself up for the things that you've done, but so that you can be real with self so you can go forward in a different direction, because you have the Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot here. Okay, so the Chariot is you taking control and aligning yourself, taking the reins of your life and steering it down the direction you want. Okay, without controlling, like without having to have the death grip on it. Right? It's like, okay, I want to align myself with this way. So I know that if I'm taking the steps to go this way and I'm aligning myself to my light and my higher purpose and my higher vibrations, I will end up in the destination that the divine wants me. Okay, it's not micromanaging every step along the way and all of your healing and no, we can't micromanage spirit. We can't micromanage our divine plan. Okay, the best that we can do is hold to who we are, hold to our truths. Okay, stay open and ever learning, but hold to our inner light, that authenticity, because the more you hold to that, the more you discover what it is and the bigger it grows, right? So High Priestess here is in the current emotional energy. Wow, we have the Seven of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Seven of Swords in reverse, the Eight of Wands in reverse, and the King of Cups upright. The High Priestess is all about having the faith and seeing beyond the veil. Okay, this is about allowing yourself to see beyond what is just in front of your 3D. Because oftentimes the 3D, there's illusions, right? And that can definitely be the Seven of Swords. Because in an upright energy, that Seven of Swords is oftentimes talking about illusions. And here it's allowing yourself to be at peace, having faith, right? Seeing beyond the illusion, seeing beyond the fear that is right in front of your face. Maybe things didn't really work out in the way that you were wanting to. Maybe something kind of unraveled in a way that you were hoping that it wouldn't. Okay, but this is again seeing beyond that. It's like a some sort of incident happened, and it's seeing beyond just that bad situation that happened, right? Where it's like, okay, yeah, I understand that this bubbled over and boiled here. And as much as that was trying and maybe very frustrating and painful, it's seeing, okay, well, beyond this had to happen so that ultimately the healing further down the line could happen. And that was the positive change. That was the healing that needed to happen here. And I love that the King of Cups came out again, right? Especially in the current emotional, because that was where you were in the physical emotion in the recent past. And now it's in the current, in the emotional energy here, right? Because again, I see so much that you are just stepping into your own space, Leo, and your own understanding. And within that, it's even within stepping into your own space, as much as you're stepping into your own space, into your own light, into your own truth, into your own healing, it's again, like accountability is such a big one. Because it's about being real with self, seeing beyond the fear, seeing beyond the illusions, right? Are you going to just get hung up at surface level, or are you prepared to commit yourself here to the faith and to the knowledge that growth needs to happen here? Faith needs to be had, right? So in the physical, we have the Nine of Wands in the current energy. And the Nine of Wands is that like exhausted, wounded warrior kind of energy. It's like you've been through the trials and the tribulations, and here you are, you're coming out, you've learned so much, and you're ready to manifest, you're ready to bring stars to light, but it is still within that energy of heaviness. Okay, it is still that energy of like, yeah, it's exhausting. Sometimes it's exhausting being the Lord's warrior. Okay, or the divine warrior. Sometimes it is exhausting going through the trials that our soul goes through. You know, our souls are these massively divine beings that are ready to do all this massive growth, and we're within these human lives that do get exhausted from energy, and that do get exhausted from the trials and the tribulations in life. Okay, and that is this Nine of Wands energy. As much as it is like a coming to the end of tough cycles, it is feeling worn out from being a warrior. Okay, but it's also acknowledging the power you have from being that warrior, the strength that you have, accumulated from all that you have gone through, right? Let's clarify this Nine of Wands. Oh my goodness, I can't take all these. We have the Father of Swords. We have the Father of Swords, the Daughter of Swords in reverse, the Ace of Wands in reverse, the Hierophant, and the Wheel of Fortune. It's about getting very clear, real, truthful here. Okay? And again with self. Because where have you hindered new beginnings? Where have you hindered new opportunities because you were hung up on old beliefs and old past, and you weren't allowing yourself to step into this new kind of energy or this new phase? I feel like, Leo, you've learned, there's been a lot of growth that has happened around you, and you really had to kind of acknowledge where you needed to change certain structures within your life. Okay, whether that was how you took on others' emotions, or how you went about healing or dealing with challenging things in your life, you had to restructure here how you were going forward and in what kind of manner you were going forward. Okay, because I think that there's been opportunities in the past here, Leo, that you maybe haven't stepped into. Okay, and the Wheel of Fortune again is asking you just to allow the wheel to shift the way it needs to shift. Okay, I understand things have probably been very tough, but I mean, the wheels come out now twice in an upright energy for you. So I do see that, that's the most constant, like what's the most constant thing in life is change. Okay, so when the wheels are feeling like they're going against you, at some point they'll shift. Okay, and they will, and you will start to feel like you're on the up and up again. Okay, and I see that happening for you. I see that maybe where you've held yourself back, and I see that these opportunities are kind of coming up into your face again. And this is an opportunity for you to step into new opportunities, enthusiasm, learning new behaviors and new patterns, right? Opening self up to new, opening self up to new opportunities before you. And maybe in the past where you would have kind of taken that Nine of Wands energy and been like, well, I've gone through all of this, so I don't have it in me to be that good person, or to be that, I shouldn't say good person, but to be that grown person, to be the bigger person, right? Sometimes it's very hard it's much easier to be the petty person than the big person. All right, so the blessing in this current energy is the Queen of Cups and the transformation. And I love this because that transformation is the Death card. And you can see that this Phoenix, she actually is a Phoenix rising right out of her hands, right out of those ashes, because you got to let something go here, my loves. Okay, this blessing, this Queen of Cups, like she, again, very High Priestess energy. Like she can see beyond the veil. She can see beyond the illusions of what is right in front of her face. She can see the journey and the reasons behind it. Okay. Two of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the Ace of Cups with the Daughter of Cups. Yep, new opportunities, new beginnings. Absolutely. And the change, though, that is yours. And that's the blessing here, because I think you can begin to see it, and I think you begin to actually understand it from a different point of view than what you have seen it before. Okay? I think you are able to understand it from an emotional, soul-based kind of level, where maybe before it's been off of, you know, ego or pride or whatever the case may be. I feel that there's a shift here with how you are going about looking at certain situations at hand, because there's a change that needs to happen here. And I love that it was the Two of Wands and then the Hanged Man, because the Hanged Man is you having faith that the divine is guiding you in the direction you need to go. The Two of Wands is acknowledging that there needs to be a change, that there's two different, very distinct paths before you. And then you have the Ace of Cups and the Daughter of Cups. Here's that brand new beginning and that brand new option, right? Here's a blessing from the universe. The page is all about a brand new opportunity coming in, something that is, again, emotionally going to fulfill you. But are you going to choose that? You know, the blessing, the energy of the blessing here is that you have the opportunity here to choose. You have the opportunity here to pick the path that you want to walk. You know, can you allow yourself to listen to Spirit and open up to the blessings that Spirit has before you, right? Can you allow yourself to move in emotionally into the transformation needed? Because it's one thing to do change. It's one thing to say, oh, we're going to do the change and the growth. But to actually like emotionally put that change and growth into actual practice within your life, to, you know, to actually take that on. Yeah, you have the Seven of Cups and the Four of Cups here. And the Queen of Cups. Because this transformation is saying, you know, the need here is to rebuild. It's to bring to life this new version of self. And there's going to be opportunities. There's going to be different opportunities before you. And are you going to be stuck looking and regretting cups that have been spilt in the past? Or are you stepping in to the? Are you stepping in to the energy of manifesting and co-creating truly what is going to serve you, right? How are you transforming? How deep of a transformation are you doing? Are you doing a surface level transformation, or are you going beneath the surface here? Are you opening yourself up to all of the blessings, or just kind of the surface level blessings? Are you seeing beyond the veil, or are you just kind of stuck with the illusions that are before you in the 3D world? Are you hung up on the fear? Right? Because fear is an illusion, right? Fear is just something we cannot see. So in the recent, in the near future energy, we have the Seven of Earth, and that's a challenging energy moving into this near future. And the Seven of Earth is, you know, it's the energy of like looking at what's before you. And do you need to go at things the way you've gone at them in the past, or can there be a change within how you have been going, right? Do you need to, you know, I mean, and we can reassess. That's part of growth, right? Sometimes we grow to a certain spot and then we learn new things. We know new patterns. And once you know, so you can't go back. So then you have to reassess, okay, well, how do I grow from here? And that can be a bit of a challenge here. We have the Daughter of Wands and the Lovers and the Death and Rebirth. Again, there's that transformation. So that's out twice, right? And we do have a couple of repeat cards up here for sure today. And I think that's just because they are, this is a very transforming kind of phase for you, because I do feel, Leo, like especially with this Page of Wands here and the Lovers, like here's the Lovers used to be the choice card, and the Page of Wands is about going forward and again breaking. Look at that, there's that recent past energy of the challenge, and here it's clarified with the Seven of Pentacles, right? Are you going forward the way that you've always gone forward, or are you going to go forward here and break the cycles? You know, do you choose, you know, are you making the choice here of transformation? Are you being accountable here for your energies that you're putting out, and accountable for the change that needs to happen within inside you, right? You can look at other people and point your finger all day long that they need to change and they need to do this and they need to get better in touch with this and they need to do this growth. But the truth is, if their lack of growth is directly irritating or affecting your peace, you need to do some self-reflection here, okay? Because that means, again, that that King of Swords and that King of Cups and that Queen of Cups energy is imbalanced, right? Because again, you're allowing the energy of someone else to dictate the energy of self. And that's what I feel like, that's really what you're breaking free from, because here we have the Five of Cups in that emotional energy. And this is where you have to get real with the emotional healing that needs to happen. Okay? Absolutely, Leos. There has been heartache. Okay? There has been cups. Yeah, Five of Swords. Five of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, and Judgment. There has been heartache. There has been tension. There has been cups that have been spilt that have disrupted your happiness, potentially your family situation or whatever that may be. That is a real thing, absolutely. But there has to come healing from that. Are you going to allow that to dictate how you go forward here, or are you going to allow happiness and healing to come in? Because you can choose happiness and healing. You can choose growth. You can choose, you can choose that that path for self. You do not have to go down the patterns of the past where you would have just allowed yourself to be some sort of victim within whatever emotionally was unsettling here. In the physical energy, we have the Four of Swords, because I do feel like you are doing a huge self-reflection right now, Leo. And I get that. Why wouldn't you, right? Yeah, Nine of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, and Six of... So we have the Nine of Wands in reverse, the Seven of Pentacles upright, and the Six of Swords upright. I feel like for some of you, it's almost like you're like, the self-reflection is kind of that reflection on how far you've come. And then I can kind of feel that this Nine of Wands energy in reverse is almost that energy of like, that saying, like you're not given more than you can handle. I just wish the universe wouldn't think that I could handle so much, right? And that can almost be that resentment of having to put in all of that hard work, all of that growth and that transformation and that uncomfortable energy. And this Seven of Pentacles clarify with this Six of Swords. Like this Seven of Pentacles again is about where are you going to go forward differently? What are the changes looking like as you go forward and rebuild? Because transformation is needed here, right? Transition is needed here. That's what the Six of Swords is all about. It's about acknowledging that it's about laying down the swords. Like you can see here that these swords are being laid down because there's no longer that fight or that resistance against the healing and the growth that needed to happen within inside of self, Leo. This is just being like, okay, well, that just has to happen. I have to step into this uncomfortable energy. I have to step into the healing that's needed and go beyond myself. Right? Go beyond the illusion, right? Go beyond the illusion of the fear. Do the work that's a little bit further back there. And that's why this Four of Swords is because it takes a lot of self-reflection to be able to actually move into that kind of transformation within life. But this Ace of Air is the blessing. Okay? And that's clarity. That's truth. That's kind of like the aha coming in from the divine again. Yeah, look at that. The Emperor, the Emperor, the Nine of Swords, and the Star. Because this truth and this clarity is about who you are. It's about stepping into the power. It's about acknowledging and releasing this bullshit. Because those 9 swords, that's just garbage that we carry. Okay, and that's pain that we have to be responsible from removing from our lives. Okay, and the Star here is the blessings. This is the universe listening to you. Connecting to the healing, connecting to the path that you are on. And you see, and it's almost as though these blessings and all of this, your prayers being heard, that comes when you can step through the bullshit into who you are, into your power, into your truth, right? That's the blessing here. But again, it comes, Leo, with you stepping into your power. And that power comes with accountability. And that accountability does not come with taking on others' problems, okay? That accountability comes with just being aware of where you end and others begin is a really big part of this. Okay, so we are going to get an oracle message here from the Spirit Animal Oracle deck And this is just a message of encouragement to go forward for you, Leo, okay? Message of encouragement for the Leos going forward. Thank you, Spirit. Wow, we have the Seahorse, which is watch and wait. And it came out in the reverse, which is the protection message. So the protection message for the Seahorse is, are you holding on to judgment, sure that your perspective is the only correct way of looking at things? There are many perspectives. There are as many perspectives as there are creatures in the sea. And when Seahorse spirit appears, you are reminded to detach from the experience so you can view it from more than one angle. Pay attention to your hidden beliefs and how they affect the way you think, feel, and act. Are you being fair to all involved, or do you need to step back? Perhaps the drama you have been drawn into is your own. Whatever the actions of others, your challenge is to be non-reactive and not to take their words or behaviors personally. Their turbulence may have little to do with you, so remain neutral until you know more. Your perspective may be quite different in time. Well, okay, there's that. All right, my Leos. Well, until next time, take great care of your beautiful soul. Bye now.